Hi, how are we doing, everybody? Welcome to Russell Heritage Golf, joined by George. Today we are continuing this discussion on the release, and what we're going to be focusing on is how to get maximum power in that release. Just show us the release so we all know what it is that we're looking at. So that left arm horizontal position, roll the club over for us a little bit more, come back, left arm horizontal. That'll do it. Right, lovely, right, there we go. This is the common this is the common position as to what would be defined as the release. The reality of the situation is that what is basically happening, which is giving you the most amount of club head speed in the golf swing, is if you pause at the top for me actually, first thing is the down cock, right? So if you cast the club, yeah, that is the most powerful, or one of the most powerful mechanisms in the golf swing, which is basically the down cock. So if you're uncertain as to what I mean, grab a lightweight object, and it's almost like if you were going fishing and kind of whipping it, that's where you're going to get a tremendous amount of club head speed. The second thing to that in terms of how you're going to generate power is how the left shoulder would be moving in space. So the point is if you do some swings actually, George, yeah, just swings without hitting, you can see the way the shoulder, if we kind of keep, as you keep swinging, the shoulder kind of retracts back and behind him. So if you hold your finish, yeah, see the way your shoulders are all the way through to the target, and that's mainly due to the fact that obviously he's turning, which we'll come to, but it's because his shoulder's working so far back. You know, the retraction which leads to your ability to move in the, you know, like an opposing force, so to speak. So the reason why I'm talking about the release in this manner is that I see a lot of people are so very focused on this area, and like in the last video I said, really you never want to be trying to roll the right hand. I can't see a benefit of that apart from an inconsistency in club face upon impact. And second, I'm not sure really, it's a cause of an effect rather than a position that you want to be kind of very focused on. So you know, you can't, if you kind of do some swings but try and like cut off at left arm horizontal, if that makes sense. Yeah, exactly, and then try and speed it up. Yeah, I mean, you just wouldn't, right? You just wouldn't do it, would you? You know, that's not going to generate more speed doing that sort of movement. All that's going to happen is eventually you're just going to hit it so far left that you'll have to change your club path to compensate for that. So, although the discussion is upon the release, I suppose what I'm saying is that, you know, if you're somebody like we see with the professional golfers who end up in this sort of position, then it basically means the sequence of events that have led beforehand are very good. You know, you're not going to slide, tilt back up, and then end up in this sort of, it just won't happen that way. It's like throwing a ball, you know, if you were to step to anticipate to release. You know, it's like any other side on sport, you know, anticipate. So if George passed me a football, for example, you know, you don't literally, but then I would step and kick, right? But if George passed me a football and it got stuck under my feet, I'm going to have to flick it out. So it's the point is that the release is a nice thing to video and to see, but the thing is that if it doesn't look great, the idea isn't, oh, let's try and manipulate it, because it just won't work. So how are you going to generate more club head speed to maximise the release? Well, the thing is really is similar to what George is demonstrating, is to move that shoulder around you more, right? And also turn your body. So if you kind of demonstrate in a moment, maybe a few kind of baseball swings or something, you know, like you were saying, you know, yeah, exactly. Really baseball it, yeah. Well, exactly. So, you know, you could see the way that, you know, if you did it again, take away your body rotation this time, and you just wouldn't see it. Do you know what I mean? You just would not see it. So the down cocking part is an important feature, and obviously your hands and your arms are an important feature in golf, but you know, you don't want to just try the idea of, oh, if I roll this over then that's what, because it just won't, right? That's basically the message behind the story. So how do you maximize more power for your release is arguably just to work on rotation of your body. So start understanding that if you're somebody who, similar to what George demonstrated, you're here in your golf swing, well then if you can start moving this further back, then you're going to generate a tremendous amount more of force. So really start thinking about the idea that it's the retraction of the lead side that gives you energy to push the right hand side through, and then that will naturally allow more space from the rotation aspect to allow your arms to go through. And then therefore what you'll find is, as we discussed in the last video, if you show us a drive hold, so just go post impact, yeah, and then basically if you go as far as you can, yeah, I mean, it's uncomfortable, yeah? So inevitably that's the point. You know, George, you have seen legends of the game that would just keep this arm going up, but it's an incredibly uncomfortable thing. So what will happen is your arm will roll naturally anyway, because it won't want to do that anymore, hence the release. So I try and think about it very much that way rather than forcing a position, because I think you'll play much better golf, in my opinion, that way. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video. Always appreciate a thumbs up and a like. Remember, it's absolutely free to press that subscribe button. You might as well press the little bell icon because that means you receive notifications every time a new video comes out. I'll catch up with you soon.